So, up next, I am so excited to introduce our second speaker of the night. Jennie has actually been waiting to share the story also for, what was it, 798 days. She was supposed to speak at our 3-year anniversary. So, we're super excited to finally host her here tonight. So, 3 fun facts about Jennie. She is an adult figure skater, which is a good thing because she's addicted to cupcakes. But when the sugar rush hits, she calms the fuck down by meditating. Jennie, come on up and share your fuck up.
Awesome, thank you. I was actually secretly hoping she would forget. Hi, my name is Jennie, and I'm not going to lie in saying I'm a little intimidated to be here. It's been a while since I've spoken, so I'm glad that everyone is so kind and welcoming. So my story is a little bit different. Everyone has a different story, and it began, 16 years ago. My husband and I were working in automotive. The automotive slump had hit. Things were very rocky and things were very challenging. And I was very, very pregnant. Very pregnant. They moved me around the office in the office chair because I couldn't walk to the meetings. I was an analyst. Really, it was becoming a big challenge. And what I realized is I can't go back to work. I want to stay with my baby and hey, start a business, because how hard could it be with a baby? Right? You just put him in a playpen like a puppy. No, you do, right? No, you don't. So, yeah, we talked about cash flow, right? Oh, look a little closer under the eyes, folks. For those in the back, I want you to look at those big old luggage bags right there. So we had baby number one. Baby number one was perfect. Oh, she was amazing. What wasn't perfect was my business, and neither was the cash flow. And I was saying yes to every client because yes was a paycheck, or yes was money coming in. Yes was literally putting milk on our table and feeding my kids. There was days I was making a choice between, do I put gas in the car or do I buy milk? And I'm not joking, okay? And so since the business wasn't doing very well and I was, charging a pitiful hourly rate, it was awful, a lot of business came to me because of that. But I wasn't very profitable, right? And so I started working nights, busting tables for a banquet center, being very pregnant for baby number 2. And some of these nights were 3 o'clock in the morning, and this was one of my friends doing a professional Photoshop, and she said, "Girl, what did you do? You didn't get sleep." And no, I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning, and then it would be working again over and over again. And I think the most humble moment I had when I was serving and with Vanessa, I was extremely pregnant again, because apparently that happens. And I was serving the tables. I knew what my tables were, and guess what I had to do? I had to serve roast beef to my ex-boss. Yeah, there's some humble pie for you, right? So this is really what business was like, okay? Things were not professional. I have no idea why Natasha's wearing a helmet. I'm pretty sure those are fuck-up stickers on the floor. This was it. And when baby number 2 came around, we had them on bicycles running around the house. Life was crazy. The demands for my clients were crazy. But I knew that, hey, I can do this. I'm just going to keep pushing things aside. I'm going to keep bringing on more business. I'm going to keep working late hours. I'm going to keep not sleeping. And I'm going to find a way to bring more money into our house with less. It was just impossible. It was absolutely impossible. This is what the end result was with the 3 kids, by the way. Do not let that baby in the middle fool you. She did not let me sleep for 3 years, okay? So by the time this came along, things were very abundant. Yes, we did not have television. That's the reason why there's 3 kids, okay? Found birth control after the 3rd one, okay? But things weren't going great. I was taking on, like I said, every client. These kids are cute and they're amazing, and they've always been my greatest supporter with my family, with my husband as well. But things were getting really out of control, and I was not checking in with myself. And that is a picture of deep, fucking dark postpartum depression that was queuing up and building and slowly overflowing after baby number 2, and I didn't deal with my shit. All I did was just say no to myself, say yes to everybody else. And I worked myself into a point of exhaustion where, I kid you not, I did not want to live. I absolutely did not. And I've never really said this publicly, so it's kind of hard. But I know that I didn't want another woman raising my children. So I started trying to figure this out. But I didn't do it right away. This happened. That's a broom. I'm going to tell you a story about a broom. So one of my clients, you know, the ones that, of the many that didn't appreciate me, I'd walk down to his restaurant. It sucked. The food sucked, okay? His profits sucked, okay? I had to give him bad news. He'd been dodging my calls, hadn't been sending me a check for my bookkeeping services. And I went into the, you know, the little bistro cafe, and he's very upset to see me. I'm like, okay, well, here's your financials. Sadly, you know, profit's not looking good. Your food sucks, is what I wanted to say. You know, here's what you owe Canada Revenue Agency for the payroll remittances. And, oh, I noticed you haven't paid me in 3 months, and I'm putting it on the counter. So what do you think happened next? What happened next is he picked up a broom, and he assaulted me with it. He fucking threw a broom at me. Now, who throws a broom? That's at somebody, at your bookkeeper, more or less. I couldn't make this stuff up, guys. So that's literally what happened. But don't worry. Don't worry. That was my moment. And this is me dressed up for Halloween, but this is literally what I did, and I wish I would have kept the fucking broom. Because I was so goddamn angry. I'm so sorry for saying that, but I was furious at this point. I was furious because not only did somebody just throw a broom at me, okay? Because, like, come on. Like, really? Anywho, I was furious at myself. I was furious at all the demands. I was furious that my babies were not sleeping. I was furious that there wasn't money in the bank. I was furious that the friggin' car was on empty again. I was furious and angry. So I took that broom, I put it between my legs, and I ran out of the cafe like the Wicked Witch of the West, and I frickin' cackled the entire goddamn way. Yeah, and I'm out there on the sidewalk feeling mighty stupid. I just ran out of a restaurant without getting a check for bookkeeping services with a broom. I live in a small town. Anybody know Belleville? Yeah, okay. Anywho, so I'm out on the street, literally, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm so angry. I'm like, how dare he do this? How dare he throw a broom at me? Didn't he know I reconciled every penny? Didn't he know I did the remittances? Didn't he know how hard I worked at 3 o'clock in the morning to put his shit in order? Then I realized something. I was part of the problem too. I was part of the problem because I was thinking every client was a good client. As long as they had a heartbeat and a checkbook, I should be doing their services. And that's not the case. And so I had a really long walk home. And I just get angry to this day. I'm actually at the point where I just want to scream right now because I still feel this moment. And as I was walking home, I felt like a fire-breathing dragon. I was just so angry. I was angry and upset at everything. Then I realized what my part was in this fuck up and what I did wrong. And what I did wrong is I didn't value myself. I didn't say no. I didn't value myself. I didn't value myself with the hourly rate. I didn't value myself with those beautiful babies to say, you know, mommy just needs some time alone in the closet to cry. You know, like, I did not value myself. And that was where I went wrong. But when I was walking home, I'm like, how am I going to remember to do this? What am I going to do? How am I not going to fuck up again? How am I not going to get any more brooms thrown at me? And I came up with an acronym for DRAGON. Now, you can have a bunny. Maybe you have something else. I don't know. Dragon just related to me, and the acronym is. So D, I only want to work with delightful people. In fact, last 2 weeks ago, I just fired a client because they weren't delightful. Not because they didn't have money in the bank account, because they were dicks. They weren't delightful. Okay? R, Respectful. I only want to work with respectful people. Hey, I give respect, okay? So I deserve respect. Now, keeping in mind this is a little bit more towards the bookkeeping angle that I'm at. A means articulate. I want you to communicate with me effectively exactly what the problem is, and I don't want you to shy any facts about it. Tell me the big, the bad, the ugly, so that I can accurately do the work, okay? G, growth-minded. I don't want to hear from any organization, this is exactly how we used to do it, this is the way we're always going to do it, and we're not going to change. No, I'm not dealing with that anymore, because I'm innovative. I like tech. I work in tech now. I'm a partnerships manager for an amazing company. Oh, online. I don't want any more paper. I don't want any more desktop products. I don't want any of that crap. I want online products. Everyone needs to be online. And N is in our niche. So those would be consultants, digital agencies, and e-commerce clients. And that, sticking with the dragon for the last 16 years may seem silly, but it has never proved me wrong. Every time something has gone astray, every time something felt uncomfortable or something fucked up, it's because I realized they weren't a dragon. There was something in that acronym that failed. And so it's something that has helped guide me in so many things, beyond influencing, talking at big, large events, working with large brands, moving beyond just a small little bumpkin bookkeeper from, the county, going on and speaking world stages. It's something that has always resonated me to align my personal beliefs, my personal brands, with an awesome company. And so I would encourage you to find your dragon, or you can steal mine. That's fine. So today, that is pretty much where I'm at. That's how I live every day. My husband reminds me, even my kids remind me. Is that a dragon? No, it's not a dragon. So we're not going to do it. And what I want to leave you with today is, please, always take the time to check in with yourself, with your mental health. I can't tell you how important that is. It's important to deal with your shit. It's important to go out and get help. For me, what I did is I started meditation, I started Reiki, I started toning, I learned about chakras, I went back to figure skating. I'm now on an adult synchro team. Just find something that brings you back to center. Find something that always helps you in determining what you shouldn't be doing, okay? And maybe that's the dragon for you. But please, learn to value yourself. And that's my fuck up.
Awesome. Jennie, thank you so much for sharing that story. I know it's not easy. It's definitely a vulnerable one, but I didn't forget. No. And yeah, I think it's so relatable to, like whether you're a parent, or maybe you're a student or a new grad, or you're somebody who's starting a business, working with clients. I think there's something that you could take from the story. And I love the acronym as well. I'd love to come up with one for Fuckup Nights. Actually, and maybe that's it, Dragon. I love it. Awesome. All right. Do we have any questions for Jennie?
Hi. First of all, thank you for mentioning the postpartum, because I don't think that's a conversation that's had enough compared to how many people experience it. Yes. What do you say, or what's your best advice for those of us who acquire clients who start off as dragons, but then through the deal or the project, you realize that they're not, and then you have to either pivot the relationship or end the relationship?
Yeah, that's a good one. You fire their ass. No, we did. And because it's just like dating, right? You put your best self out. You want to attract a really awesome bookkeeper, whatever the case may be. You're going to be like, my books are clean. I'm not a tyrant. Sorry, where did he go? But whatever the case is. But you always have to, and it's true, you can fall into that, right? Or you could have that syndrome where you're thinking too fantasy-like, where, I'll just ignore that little quip. Or something. Stay very true to it. And like I said 2 weeks ago, a great client, like I said, there was money in the bank account, great system, great growth opportunities, certainly not a problem at all, but his personality was not something my team and I could deal with anymore. And it came down to, hey, it looks like this isn't a good fit anymore. And just being open and honest about it. And if it's not a good fit, you have to think about yourself and your team. You're not going to put that result back out, right? So stay true to yourself. Yeah, yeah. and fire them. We have one here. Oh, my neighbor.
Yes, I'm happy to be a neighbor. And thank you so much for sharing your story. It's amazing and it's really vulnerable. And I have a question. So you are putting yourself first now and checking with yourself.
Yes.
How often do you check in with yourself to make sure that you are aligned with what you're doing? And if you find yourself not aligned, what do you do to get yourself back on track?
Yeah, that is really good. I would kind of consider myself a high performer, because who else would work full-time for a tech company and still run a business? So for me to do that, I'm really aligned to short-term goals. I'm big on short-term goals. So I use a journaling system. I've used a couple of them. I put in goals. What do I want to do? The type of person I want to be today. Who I want to lead today. What specific tasks need to be done. What are my frogs that I need to eat? And I stay true to that. Like, my day is completely written out to manage that. And, you know, with us in the organization that I have with More Details, and even with Ignition that I work with, I don't work on crisis mode. You know, what I work on is, if we do effective planning, we shouldn't be reactive, we should be proactive. And yeah, I do understand that sometimes a pipe breaks and that wasn't planned, right? But checking in with myself is actually something I do before I switch every task. Like, I'll take a moment and go, release, move on to the next task. Last night, my kids were driving me fucking nuts, okay? We're going camping this weekend, so I really needed to get in touch with my inner self. Let me correct you, I'm glamping this weekend, okay? So we have a big trailer in our driveway. We live in the country, and I took a little glass of wine out to the trailer, and I sat there by myself, and Mama got herself a timeout. So yeah, take care of yourself first, because if you don't, you're not gonna be able to take care of anybody else. Okay.
Thanks for sharing that. So what changed in you to come across like clients that you actually want to work with?
Yeah. What caused me to do that? Or
What, like, you were having bad clients,
Yep.
so what happened that suddenly changed and you are now working with good clients?
yeah, I would say that broom hurt pretty much. So that was the reality, that I didn't want that type of client anymore. And just literally taking more time to communicate with people before I agreed to do their work. So getting to know them, getting to know their business and their business model, taking certain referrals, not, you know, just taking anybody off, you know, off of Kijiji, which was another, I kind of giggled at that one, because that's where I was totally finding clients. Yeah, don't look at Kijiji to do that. No, no, right? Do not do Kijiji. Yeah, you're gonna find yourself some asshole clients. Okay, hope that helped.
Great questions, everyone, and thank you again, Jennie. That was awesome.